Okay, I'm recording. It's February the 24th. I'm here to make a quick little video, but I'm out in my backyard with my dogs. And actually, we had a Facebook internet friend wants to see my dogs, so hold on, we can do that. June, hello. Hi, June. Whoa, June. June. Hello, June. June likes astrology, but she likes hanging out in the backyard more than doing astrology indoors. Yes, June. June probably knows more about astrology than I do. Okay. Right, so we're in the backyard, and it's February, and it's cold, but we're in British Columbia, so it's actually not even that cold. I'm just being a bit of a wuss and dressing in a large jacket. But it's actually sunny out. But we're dealing with this idea that I have not yet to address called object-oriented ontology. And I don't even have to make a very long video on this. I figured I might as well make it outside. The basic idea was introduced to me from a guy named Graham Harman, who did it's called the 3 tables. And so he was talking about how if you look at the point of view from science, if you're taking a scientific point of view of things, that from a theoretical physics point of view, it gives us a certain idea of what a table is, right? If we break it down to atoms and all this kind of stuff. And of course, if you get into the funny quantum physics, there's the issue of the table is mostly just empty space, or it's a potentiality of quantum things that is actualized. It all gets very abstract and stuff like this, right? Or but there's also the everyday table that people use, and in a practical sense, that they don't need to know the quantum physics of what constitutes a table to use the table, and it's the table in a person's everyday life. But if from a scientific point of view, the whole thing is that there's certain qualities which to make a table what it is, such as, let's say, the color of a table. If you paint a table one color versus you paint a table versus another color, what color is the table? But color, if an animal sees the same color, an animal may not even be able to tell the difference what the color of the table is, or the animal may be able to perceive certain things about the scent of the paint or something like this, or the scent of the table that a human doesn't perceive, right? So that the actual table you're dealing with, based on the subjectivity of your biology, is going to be radically different, and that we can still agree. The most fundamental thing we can agree on, though, is that there's my dog, if me and my dog are playing frisbee, my dog has a really different experience of the frisbee than I do, based on our biology and being different subjective biological machines interfacing with reality. But we can still play frisbee and have a game of frisbee in the backyard, right, June? So establishing that as a basic physical reality, right? But there's a certain side of physical reality that that's the kind of the trend towards what people call materialism, right? And we've created a kind of a conversation when it comes to kind of woo-woo metaphysical stuff, that materialism is essentially the problem, that people need to get over materialism in order, whatever, to find a enchanted universe or something like that. But it's going to be interesting if we apply this kind of same idea of the 3 tables to Graham Harman. Graham Harman was arguing that there's a 3rd table which is not reducible to the human perception of the table and the human use of the table, and is also not reducible to whatever the scientific thing, which is really kind of just an abstract formulation of what, atoms and molecules and stuff, or whatever that material reality really is, that is not reducible to the full extent of a table is, and that the 3rd table is, in a sense, a radical mystery. This is all I have to say. I got this from G.F. Martel from Weird Studies. But the radical mystery of any object, this applies to any object, including, don't eat that. The object my dog is trying to eat right now. The radical mystery of it all, right? And so it's interesting when you apply that to planets, because you can take the scientific approach of a planet, or else you could take the astrological approach of the planet, which reads it as a symbolic thing, or you could read it as an aesthetic approach. You could as there's all these different perspectives you can take on an object, but there's a kind of a mystery that is not reducible to any of these one approaches to define the totality of what the object is. And so, in a way, it's like arguing for an astrology that's grounded in a object-oriented ontology, where the ground of the radical mystery of the ground of being that is matter itself and the material universe that we find ourselves in. And there's trying to make a naturalistic phenomenon of how does that all work. I don't know about how to answer that question, but to approach it that it's basically grounded in the materiality of the real universe, and not just a abstract formulation, right? So that's the last thing I don't want to be doing by making videos like this, is just to be dropping really abstract stuff on people. So anyways, I'm going to carry on with your day, everybody. Okay.